Alright, what's up guys? It's your man Daz. I'm here with Petzergling. This is the third game of MSL Group C. It's the winner's game between Jangbi and Fantasy. Jangbi having crushed Iris in the first game, surprisingly, at least surprisingly to me, although not to the Korean fans. Totally dismantled him, looking in top form. And Fantasy pretty much crushing Tempest in the second game. So both players coming off a really dominant performance. Even though the last game with Fantasy versus Tempest was a longer game, Tempest really kind of staying in the game for a long time after he had already lost, and basically was getting dominated from the mid-game on by some excellent harass play by Fantasy. So I'm looking forward to this game. It's shaping up to be a really good match. What about you, man? What are your thoughts on this game?
Well, you know, I definitely was impressed with Fantasy. I thought he played an excellent TVP, and, you know, I'm not sure if the harassment's going to work as well. You know, that's assuming that he's going to go for the same sort of harassment-based late push play as he did in the first game than he did in the, you know, then in a different game where he just would go for a normal 2-factory build, or if he just went for a max and push without going for harassment. And I mean, harassment's both hit and miss, and just for syncing, we got 2-1-0, but yeah, harassment's hit and miss. I mean, we saw Iris go for a harassment-based game where that totally failed and nothing was really worth it. I mean, he got the early starport and the wraiths worked, but the dropships really were a total waste. The early mines in the second factory really were not as good. And at Fantasy, definitely a new age macro player. If he doesn't think the harassment's going to work against Jangbi, he could try something else, but, you know, I'd have to expect. You know what, I really actually don't know what to expect because, as I was saying before, I think he has a shot at winning this, not only because he showed me some pretty good PvT, but this is actually a Neo Harmony, which not only would I consider a pretty macro-based map, but it's also, I think, although there's only a few games that have been played on it, it's actually a Terran favored map. I think it's like 7-4 or something like that, so I think Fantasy, if he could take advantage of a map like Destination that's favored towards Protoss, I think he could easily take advantage of a map like this.
Yeah, you know what though, I kind of think I expect some non-standard play from Fantasy. At least insofar as not just sitting in his base and maxing out, or not just going for, you know, a 6-fact timing push. I expect him to, at the very least, attempt some kind of harass, or, you know what I mean, do something that we don't see in the perfectly standard game. I don't expect him to play textbook. It looks like he's checking for proxies again. I don't know if this is a really early scout or if he's checking for proxies. It might be an early scout because this is a 4-player map. Okay, it looks like that is what it is. He's scouting really early. No, he's going down to the middle of the map. He actually looks like he might be proxying something himself. Does he know what race Tempest? I mean, does he know what race?
I think he thought Iris won. Look at he's building a forward barracks to lift. Wow, so I mean, I guess you're calling non-standard play was just amazing here, and I mean, I think really from a Terran perspective, the only explanation I can think of this is I think he may be expecting Jangbi, because this is such a macro favored map, to go for an early nexus, like a 12 nex or a 14 nex. So this forward barracks helps a lot when you go for an SCV all-in bunker rush, but it'd be almost impossible to deal with any sort of early zealot rush with a setup like this. So I mean, that's the only. What is Jangbi doing? He's actually blocking his ramp with the...
What are these guys doing? This is one of the strangest openings. What the hell is going on in this game? Dude, do either of them know what race the other player is? I think Jangbi now thinks that... that Fantasy might have switched to Zerg and is gonna 9-pool him, so he's blocking off the ramp there with some probes. I guess he really doesn't want Fantasy to scout him, but little does he know, Fantasy built a forward barracks a la TVT, and it's probably going to float that into his base. I have no idea what he's doing with that barracks. I still can't really figure it out. I can't imagine that he's going to go for a marine pressure. I mean, I don't know why you would go for, like, one
Here comes
barracks.
The Citadel.
I mean, this is just the most random shit I've ever seen. I really don't think he's going to go Citadel, though. That would just be way too predictable. This is not a DI Cup game. If this was me playing and it was you, as Terran, that would be a Citadel for sure. But I think Jangbi
actually go engineering bay before barracks when I play against Protoss now, just because I hate DTs so much.
Well, you might want to start building the barracks.
Is that legal? Did he just do the gas glitch, or did he get through that?
It looks like he did the gas glitch, but I think he could have gone through. I think there was.
But do you see how he backed up to the gas?
No,
at the end of this video, when we're talking, I'm gonna rewind this back and I'm gonna play that part again, and I want to see if he actually gas glitched him there, because I can't imagine, you know, even though it happens sometimes. Wow, is that a proxy factory from Fantasy?
What is Fantasy doing? What is going on here? I just don't even know what to say.
This is madness.
Yeah, this really is. I was gonna go for the obvious joke there, but decided not to do it.
Yeah, I went there. I went there.
I was not taking that. Really, this is like one of the fucking weirdest games I've ever seen. Jangbi blocking his ramp and then going for a late 2-gate, not even a quick 2-gate power goon, but like just
why did he build the forward racks and then make 4 Marines and then send them back to his base and then float the barracks back to his base?
I have no clue. I mean, I have no clue what he's doing here. It looks like the proxy factory is going to work pretty well because Jangbi is going for goon pressure, so he's going to be streaming all of his goons out of his base. Oh, I hope for fantasy's sake that those goons don't go straight back to his main, because if they do, then the proxy factory is going to be a huge race. Looks like fantasy's actually cutting a lot of SCV. He's up to some sort of shenanigans. I think he's got some kind of crazy game plan that he thought of. I mean, he hasn't been building an SCV for a while. I know it takes some SCV cutting to get an early proxy second factory, but this is getting extreme. Is he going to build something else here? Like, what is he doing? Oh, the Nexus going down, and it looks like Jangbi's got all of his gateways rallied up to Fantasy's base, so when these vultures come out, they're going to do a lot of damage. This is going to be a really crazy...
Look at that probe. What is that probe doing?
I have no idea. Is he going to build a gateway somewhere in the middle of the map? Like, what the hell is going on here?
Wait, did he see the did he see the vulture there?
I don't know. Yeah, he saw it. He definitely saw it. He's going...
Oh my god.
I don't know, man. What a game. This is nuts. Like, what the hell is going on here? I think he
definitely saw that, moving everything back there.
Yeah. Oh, but it's going to be too late, though. He's going to take some damage here. He just has to hope that he can get some Dragoons out. Oh, bro. Oh, okay. Only one mine going off. Kind of not placing the mines too well there. These mines are going to go off for sure, though. I mean, well done by Jangbi here. Only really not taking damage from the mine. Oh! Oh my goodness. I nearly had a heart attack. That was so close to being the ballerest shit ever. That could have killed every single bro. I mean, Jangbi really doing a good job to minimize the damage here, but like, still, this is definitely setting him back quite a bit. What a crazy move by Fantasy. Oh man, it saves the vulture. I really don't even know what more to say in a situation. You can take.
He cancels the Nexus.
Kind of speechless.
This is just crazy. I mean, this is like a modified version. Like, basically, the standard, almost, they call it the Super 2 factory. You go for a factory on 15 and on 17, and you start cutting SCVs on 21, and you go for a really heavy all-in rush. And it looks like that's what he's doing, but he proxied the factory and didn't pull SCVs on it. So just a really, really interesting variation from Fantasy, and now all the vultures getting eliminated. But I think Fantasy is really going to have to cut his losses here. I think if he doesn't... Alright, so there's Siege Mode, so that's excellent, actually. I think Jangbi's going to have a terribly difficult time getting down this ramp, and I think the Citadel would have been a better choice at this point in the SCV moving forward, but I'd have to imagine... And wow, Jangbi building a proxy Nexus, a hidden expansion in the bottom left, playing Cheater Protoss, and Fantasy mining up Jangbi's base. And if this was a standard 2 factory, remember that Fantasy didn't have to pull any SCVs. I think he only sent 1 SCV to repair here. So I think Fantasy, even though he's getting some Dragoons here, his best decision would just be to shell these gateways and put up his expansion, because Jangbi's with a shuttle now that just came out. He's going to be able to break this, I have to imagine. And I don't know if there's a turret. There's no turret, but 4 Marines. Nice there, and he kills that mine. Oh, wow, he drags the mine, but it doesn't go off. Wow, 3 vultures can't go down, but still 2 tanks, and it looks like Fantasy is building a bunker. This is such a crazy rush. I mean, part of this was that Fantasy knew the positioning of Jangbi's gateways would be shellable by under that on the low ground there, and once that bunker gets up, it's going to be real difficult for Jangbi to break it, although the bunker isn't going to target fire the shuttle, and it looks like Jangbi's actually going to break this because he can shoot the Dragoons, or he can shoot the tanks with the Dragoons on the high ground, and I don't think, there, actually, he can hit that
just
tank.
Out of range. Oh, no, he is in range.
2 SCVs repairing it, so Fantasy, but we see Fantasy, I don't think he started his command center yet, and I think this is really poor here. I mean, he was so far ahead, forcing Jangbi to cancel the Nexus. I'm not saying that Jangbi played poorly. I mean, he didn't even scout this second factory.